And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin another day. Today is Wednesday, already 6:30 this morning. Nice and cool, 65 as you begin your day. We're getting word that there is a accident with possible injuries in the parking lot of Mr. Fuel, Highway 80 West. It looks as though a truck may have overturned. That's the details that we have at the present time. We'll get more on that update coming up soon as we get more response from this on the way. Again, that's Mr. Fuel, Highway 80 is where that is this morning. Some form of an accident. We'll have more details on it coming up very shortly there as news gets out as first responders get to the scene. Lots to do today. We're so glad that you chose us to be a part of it. We'll give you the latest headlines of what's going on. Good morning. So good to see you there. Miss Elmer there, Kathy, Guy. We'll be right back. Let's get a good word now. Let's go to Collinsville, First Baptist Church.
You know, a lot of people, especially young people, have dreams and aspirations to be famous one day. Some of them are rather ambitious and they concoct a plan to climb to the top, whatever it is they're pursuing. They plot and scheme and claw their way to where they want to go and don't really care who they have to knock down to get there. It's them against the world. They simply by force will their way to the top. Now that's one way, but that's not God's way. God's way is for you and me to simply be faithful to exercise with excellence the gift that He's given us so that others take note and promote us upward until we are before great men. The Bible says in Proverbs 18:16, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before the great. So beloved, in a world filled with self-promoters, you don't have to be a self-promoter. Self-promoters are often not what they bill themselves to be. They're typically not self-aware. Their oversized egos exaggerate their greatness. And in the end, they look foolish. No, it's better to let your gifting do the promotion for you. Remember, Jesus said in Luke 14:11, everyone who exalts himself will be humbled. Don't tell people how great you are. Simply do great things and trust God that your gifting will make room for you and lift you up, bringing you before great men. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. Brother Ben always does a fantastic job with that. Hope you enjoyed today's little moment there. As we get this underway, as I said, 65 right now as you're waking up as we get our day started. Amazon, as we look at headlines across America, say you've got to return to work. No more working from home. I honestly thought everybody had done that already, but apparently not. Amazon being the latest there, and I guess layoffs are going to happen if you don't. Did you hear about this earthquake? Texas is where it all happened yesterday. Pretty major one there. Midland, Texas. You ever been there? Been through there once or twice there. 5.1 earthquake. Pretty huge. I know a lot of people from here have folks that work in the oil industry that travel to and from and sometimes land in that airport there. I think all is okay, but lots of things shook yesterday as reports are coming in for that. You know, I typically don't agree with Bernie Sanders, but well, he's got a point on this as we see, and the older you get, the more this really means something to you. I know as a young person, you go, oh, that doesn't affect me, but it will one day. The price of drugs, your prescriptions. Bernie, and a lot of people are on the Ozempic for many different reasons. The price on this is outrageous. He claims that it cost him maybe $100 to produce it. Have you tried to buy it? Have you seen what your insurance has to pay for this? It's unreal. And it's that way on most things. Again, they're making millions, and the American public is having to pay this as they can. Did you hear about the little girl that decided to go to, well, she had to shop, had to go to Target. 25-minute ride, she made it there. A little small accident in the parking lot. Ohio is where that happened. I guess it's not a laughing matter, but she really wanted to get there really, really bad. One of the big headlines that we had out of yesterday. Let's see what else is happening. Homeowners who don't have insurance, how does that affect us? Well, it's not good. Mississippi ranks right up there with one of the highest. And I was looking at these numbers. As we look at Lauderdale County, Let me see what that had on that. Lauderdale County, Mississippi. 22% of homeowners in Lauderdale County do not have home insurance. Now, y'all think about that. A fire breaks out. The next county that has a little bit more than us is Jones County. 29% of people there do not have home ownership. Anything can happen. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it's expensive, but you got to have it. Work something out. And I know that's tough to tell somebody who's, what's that old saying of eating 2 shifts and having bologna? It's tough. Prices are high. But fires, anything can happen to destroy your home. And boy, we sure wouldn't want that to take away everything you have. But Mississippi ranking high up there on that list there. What else we have going on? A lot of officials got letters in the mail, threatening letters yesterday across the United States. Wyoming, one of those, and many, many other states. Kansas, Tennessee, even Oklahoma were targeted in that. I'll save that story for when Odie's here. I don't think I believe, you know these surveys you often hear? I've heard all my life, well, eggs are good for you. Well, no, wait a minute, they're bad for you. It's just back and forth. Now they're saying 3 cups of coffee a day is linked to lower risk of heart attack. I've had 3 cups of coffee since I was probably 14. I had quadruple bypass surgery, so I'm going to go ahead and say this one is not true. But scientists, they know it all. I got to have it no matter what. I'm addicted. That's probably worse than any cigarette that was ever invented. It's a thing called coffee. The next thing would be followed by that, if you don't do that, would be caffeine. Some of us just have to have it to be nice people. Y'all know that. And there's some of you who need a cup. It really helps your outlook on life there. A cup of ambition is what I like to call it. Your ambition for the day. But really, I don't believe there's survey there. We have a horrible thing in Michigan. A 2-year-old, and we almost had this here in Lauderdale County over the weekend. Same age, a 2-year-old wandered into a highway in Michigan. A different result than it was here in Lauderdale County. The child was killed, struck by a car. We pass condolences to family members of that. I don't care what part of the U.S. of A. you're standing in. It's just horrible, horrible. Miley is getting sued. Miley Cyrus is who we're talking about. You remember her from Hannah Montana, all that. She's become a big wrecking ball star, I guess is the way to word her. Billy Ray's daughter. She's being sued for copyright infringements of a Bruno Mars song. Now, Bruno is not doing it. There's people that own the songs that wrote it, and one of them sold out to somebody, and he's the guy that has stepped forward. And honestly, I can't listen to either one of them and tell one from the other. But they're saying that the tunes are similar. She's being sued. Won a bunch of, I think they even won a Grammy, is what they're saying. It looks as though today will be the day. Look for it. Federal interest rates should be cut today, is what we're being told. Hopefully it's enough to where it really, really moves the economy. Let's hope so. J.D. Southerner, do you remember the song, When You're Only Lonely? He has passed away at the age of 78. He also wrote songs for the Eagles. Linda Ronstadt, and the list goes on and on. Heartache Tonight, do y'all remember that song? It's a heartache tonight. He wrote that. He has passed away at the age of 78. Let's see what else is going on this morning. Oklahoma. Teacher in trouble. I always remember this with social media posts. If you post something, there are repercussions if it's bad. A school teacher in a store with his children, and we won't say which candidate. One of his kids had a sword, and there was a doll of the political candidate, and he held it to it. It ain't working out real good for him at school. Just don't do that when you're a leader. It doesn't work out there. Sean Puff Daddy, not getting out. They have sent him on to jail. And I honestly didn't know this. 50 Cent, who again, that I've heard his name all my life, I just don't know his music, has been trolling him. He also, just like R. Kelly, is being accused of sexual crimes for years and having people cover them up for him. If he has done this, it's a horrible crime and he should be punished. We'll wait and see what happens. That's the latest that we're getting out of this case. More to follow on that. We're going to do your forecast next as we start today. We'll be right back with more on the way. When it's time to store something, think Store Local Storage. It's conveniently located next to Northeast Park, and it's gated. On top of that, it's climate control, so no matter the season, it'll protect your things. 24-hour security, a covered loading dock, fire sprinklers, and you can choose the storage unit that suits your needs. From a 5x5 all the way up to a 10x30, you choose the space that you need. Call Store Local Storage today at 601-490-1618, Highway 39 North, Meridian.
2024 Kia Sportages have rates as low as 0.9%. The 2024 Kia Sorento has interest rates as low as 0.9%. We've got 2024 Kia Fortes for as low as $349 a month. $349 a month. Come see us at Kia of Meridian.
Welcome back. As we look at radar this morning, we are showing what we mentioned. Fog is out there as we pull up radar to see a little bit better there. As we look to the Hattiesburg area, the thickest that we've got in the area. Look at that. This is going to pick up there from Purvis, Mississippi, Columbia, over to Monticello, over to Wesson, Brookhaven, those areas there. If you've got to go south today, be extremely careful as well over to our East Troy, Alabama, those areas there. And as you get near Monroeville, Evergreen down in Bama, we got some there as well. Scattered fog, I've even seen some in the area here. Not as thick as it is south of here, but it's still there. Leave a few minutes early, be prepared for it. We could have more of this. National Weather Service says that it will creep up on us. Look at it from Chattanooga. We got it all across Arkansas as well. A few showers there coming in on the coast of Florida. Nothing major. Wichita, Kansas has a lot. Let's get further into the forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Our record highs, record lows as we go back to 19. It was 102 today. 1903, the coolest day that we've got recorded. It was 45 on today. Not bad weather, was it? As we look at the forecast today, we're going to see 90 to 91. This has changed several times since getting here early this morning of what the temperature would be. As we look northward through Philadelphia, 89-ish to 90, and we'll see 88 around Columbus. From the river all the way down to Natchez, should be close to the same, 89, 88, somewhere along in those areas there down the Mississippi River. Over to our east into Bama, the same as the Meridian area, 90, 91. A little cooler there in Birmingham, as we could see some mid-80s there around Birmingham today. This is the fog that we talked about there. Quarter mile, half mile visibility, depending upon where you are this morning. And this should last until roughly 9 o'clock this morning. Slow down, drive slower, and keep your headlights on low beam. The entire area could be affected by this, and it'll slowly creep up from those creeks. You know how that does. As we look at the temperatures over the next 10-day outlook, we've got warmer weather coming from South Texas toward Louisiana and Mississippi. It'll warm things up just a little bit. As we look at our 7-day forecasts, here's what we have. 90 today, 91. 0% chance of rain, and that will linger for the next 7 days. That part's good. As we get into tomorrow, high of 89. The weekend looks to get into the 90-degree mark, 91. All this Texas weather making its way here. As we look at the back-to-work out forecast, 88. By Tuesday, we're sitting at 86, and as we go another week, we'll finally see a dip in temperatures somewhere around the 26, as we'll dip into the low 80s there. 82, 81, and how do y'all like the 28th? Saturday, 78. Boy, I like that. But that's 2 weeks away. That's the bad news I had to tell you there. We're going to remain there 79 or 80 all the way through October the 2nd. That looks good. Makes you feel like it's almost, well, fall to a degree. Let's find out about fishing. What happens today? The best times to be out there will be this afternoon around 1 o'clock. Let's call it 1 until 3. Hang around to 3:30 there to catch your big one there. The wind's going to be calm, becoming north around 5 this afternoon. So great fishing time there. Minor time around dark 30 if you want to be out and do a little fishing there as well. I've often been told that there's never a bad time to be fishing. Is that true? Y'all have to tell me that. It's been a little while since I had a chance to go. As we look at what's going on in the tropics, we're watching this. What will happen as we pull up our projection? This is not really going to affect anyone here. 60% chance we're going to watch this. 20% chance at this point they're giving this of moving into the Gulf. We'll see. Hasn't developed yet, but next week could be a different story. We'll watch that closely as the tropics warm up. We've got, again, until November the 1st for this hurricane season. We don't need anything near us. Let's keep our fingers crossed that it goes away there. Patricia, good morning. I see Bernadette is up stirring there. Bob is up. Feed his arthritis this morning. LaWanda, good morning. Good to see you as well. Almost election time. You know, and I saw this a moment ago where they said, what is making gas prices fall? I think we all know that. It's an election year. It's getting close to November. They're going to go lower than they are now. Make you feel good for a couple of months before it happens. And then, bam, it'll be right back up where it was or higher. It always works that way. Doesn't matter who's in office, that's what happens. Keep it in mind. We'll be right back as we'll go live at 7 o'clock this morning. Lots to talk about what went on. Some arrests have gone on. Someone was saved yesterday. Oh, we'll tell you all of that. We got good news with that. It's coming up here at the Scotty Ray Report beginning at 7.